Hi folks, we have a little recording for you, a part of the game that was just played between Bulgaria and Slovenia. We'll be showing you the Slovenian Greyjoy game against the Bulgarian Targaryen, and joining me is the player who played the game, Peter. Hello.
Hello.
So, you are a fairly new player in this game, right?
Yes, this was the third recorded game in the tournament website. So I played two friendly open. I played one friendly open and I lost two games there, and that's all I have at records. And then this game.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cutthroat environment, this World Cup. A lot of good players, a lot of strong decks, and yeah, really nice if you can grab a few wins here. And let's have a look at what we played here. So we have a Targaryen Bulgarian Targaryen deck. That's difficult to say. The prince that was promised. So this is, I guess, interesting. So it names Khal Drogo, but it actually plays two different versions of Khal Drogo, the box one and the core one, and all the Dothraki. So no major surprises here. And of course all the supporting locations like Womb of the World, the economy, and okay, Dothraki C, a core set card that you do not usually see in the Dothraki decks, and also the attachment Dothraki Steed, so it is a little bit unique. The events are pretty straightforward with overwhelming numbers and Blood of My Blood, and so are the plots. A few 2-claim plots in this plot deck, along with the Mad King's Command as the main reset, which also makes sense since you can keep really strong characters on the board and raise your claim. So this was our opposition here, and the Greyjoy deck is Greyjoy Fealty, and yeah, no surprises here either. This is pretty straightforward, so it's based on a deck that was played by the Chinese team in the Team Regionals event and uses Asha Greyjoy as the restricted card. She is really strong and also uses the box version, or now I guess it would be the redesigned version of Euron Crowseye, who of course can quite easily have Intimidate and some stand. If you are able to go first, it can be really dominant. And there is also Victarion with all of his warships and the usual events package, along with a very solid plot deck. I think we have plots that are capable of winning initiative here. We have Nothing Burns, which has a really nice combination with We Do Not Sow. You can get some really strong locations with that. Brand the Builder to search for your warships, and some draw, and of course the customary Valar Morghulis. So unfortunately we don't have a full recording of the game because I was busy and I joined it a few rounds in. But Peter, you can tell us a little bit how the game started.
Yeah, I think just the big points of the start would be nice because the setup was I think a forecast of Raki and Womb of the World duplicated. And I had, I think, the best setup I could have with Great Hall, Victorian, and the two zero-cost warships. And then the first plot was from my side, nothing burns like coal, and discarded the big location. I thought that would be worth it, and I think that worked. And then I still drew into Euron, which I could play, and I couldn't use the Intimidate in the first round. I had the option to not play Euron and have the mean 2-cost Eric Anvil also in hand to get the Raider trade. This card is it feels so strong. I like him 2-cost for strength. But I choose Victorian, and think there was Summer Feast and Drogo. And the first round kinda went good for me. He defended. I stood Victorian a bunch and also defended with Victorian, I think the military. And the next plot I had, there were no duplicates, there were 3 Dothrakis out, and I just Valad, lost Victorian, saved Euron, and he lost his prince, which I thought was very worth it. In that round, his plot was the Khaleesi plot, the Fear of the Khalasa, that plot,
Yes.
and there was also, I think, if in the recording you see my hand's judgment, he nightmared my silence to not stand Euron, but I had the hand judgments, my only copy of it in hand, and then I could do all the challenges with kneeling all his Dothrakis and also standing Eric, which he wouldn't stand otherwise. And I think that kind of put me in a very good position by still having the combo. And then I also could in Maidens, and then he had he couldn't oppose my challenges, so all my characters were still standing. And I could do all my challenges, and all his Dothrakis were kneeled, and then we are at the start of the recording, I think.
Alright, so let us join the game. And this is our situation. So as you can see, we are in round 3 and the Targaryen player just about to marshal. And we have Bran the Builder revealed for Greyjoy, and we have the 2 claim vanquish the unbelievers on the other side. Actually, Targaryen is first player here.
Yes, I could.
Yeah, this could be dangerous with 3 claim military potentially if overwhelming numbers is played. 2 gold saved.
I kind of forgot this card, but you will see that one play too. Who the starting player is? No, the Targaryen player starts, right? Yes.
Yes, it's one of the few times where he can win initiative here, but it's his.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
I think he only has you win or you die after this from the 2 claim plots.
Yes.
Here you can see me scrolling up to check what the prince was. So it is Khal Drogo, but he is in the dead pile.
Yes.
I didn't know
Got
that
no
actually
list.
there were 2 copies of him, 2 different versions of him in this deck, which is an interesting choice. I guess with prince you can search for the one you need, but usually decks will choose one or the other.
Yeah, there was the military. I know there was something up, but I wanted for sure to oppose it. But if he also wins by 5 or more, he could just play one of his 2 events. And yeah, then this happened. I was very happy to have the Maester because it's not triple claim, and he can use himself as claim and save Usher. But then,
Yes,
yeah,
that's the timing works out really nicely for that.
was a very short run because everything that happened, and then everything was nailed, I think. It's a triple claim.
Yes, and there is Intimidate as well.
Yeah. I should have probably picked Enric if something could like intercept it and maybe Asha would die, but there was no gold left. I don't think there was anything in the deck that could intercept here, so.
Yeah, no real surprises possible here, which is interesting. So with open deck lists, he still set up the Womb of the World, even though he knew for a fact that you were playing Nothing Burns in this deck. That's quite costly when you lose a 4-cost card from your setup like that.
Yes, Enric also knelt and he will never stand again, but he did a great job anyway, so.
And at this point there is some pressure with the power already on 7 against 0. Now we know the 2 cards in hand because they were returned from overwhelming numbers. So there is a Raiding Khalasar and there is Kohola.
I think I was pretty sure there comes a second claim, like the win or you die. Oh yeah, and I wanted to very much win initiative because if I'm second player in this situation, I think I just lose everything because I had no dupes in hand and just had two cards left, and one of the cards was for sure um the character that cancels character abilities if I discard him from hand.
Yes, the Drowned God Fanatic.
Yeah. And I decided I have to be first player, otherwise it could get very ugly with double claim again.
So just marshalling eager deckhands here. Now, it is possible to, I guess, if one of them needs to put Ironfleet Scout into play with the plot, the other one then comes in for free. This is not, well, I'm not sure what the other options here were.
Nothing. There's a second God Fanatic in the tent. That's the last card.
And
That was
cancelling the
basically,
reducer.
yeah, actually it shouldn't it reduce it and stand? I don't know. I had it in one game where I also cancel, like, I think it stood up again, but I think it was maybe a bug. But yeah, I hope that, I mean, there is no eye, so Asha can just attack for free, get the pillage. That was a very, very nice draw that I got Asha. And so at least they stand once. And yeah.
Yeah, so a big intrigue challenge that can be opposed. Now this is, I was reading Kohola here, so I think
He
you
needs
kneel
a
him,
participating character.
yeah, you kneel Koholo to have him participate in the challenge. So obviously you had the Fanatic, so you could cancel that, but he can participate in that way even if he started. So with you win or you die and zero reserve, I guess the price to put him into the challenge is not that high. So yeah, your opponent could have done that here to stop Maiden's Bane, but I guess missed it.
And then with Asha, I can draw a warship. Then with Silence, I can put the warship in. Then Euron stands again. And that's a very nice rotation that's going on here. I felt very confident in that position. I always, like, with Plaza, I always knew, like, Plaza will stand one of them. But there's also nothing I can do to prevent it. So I think I just attacked with everything I have because one of them will stand anyway, and I don't want two people standing. So if I can force him to only do one challenge, which is then probably the one where he gets his prince back, which shouldn't then kill my characters, but there were also the two deckhands, so I wasn't very concerned of even double claim military somehow if something might happen. No, they just die and that's okay.
Yeah, unfortunately no power to steal from the faction card. And no surprises here with any raiding Kalasar. There's no goal to play overwhelming numbers. And yeah, bad position for the opponent because he has to defend this, otherwise gets intimidated. And now Plaza can stand someone, as you said. Jogo is normally 3 strength, but he gets +2 because there are 2 characters in the dead pile, so it's just enough to win by 5.
Yeah, I missed that the first round, but also I wasn't like it was a bit like he gets Drogo back, but he also played you win or you die, so he's discarded anyway again. So
Yeah, the only thing really he can do here is to take him out to the dead pile and then hope
I think
he
he
draws him
did
somehow.
that. Yeah, he took it off from the dead pile. But then he got discarded anyway, but at least he's not dead if he gets the last copy of it. But still, it was double claim. Still 3 power lost, but I thought it was in a pretty good position.
Yes, and now Morgul is in the Targaryen deck, and now difficult to win initiative against Greyjoy. The plot's already pretty decent, and then there is +1 from Silence, or is it +2 from Silence and +1 from Refurbished Hulk?
Yes, so +3 for me. And I think there was the thing that my Return to the Fields would outvalue the Mad King's Command, which was very likely to be played here because I had just more. Like, there were no cards, like he will not discard anything. But drawing 2 more cards with just discarding the deckhands was very nice because I think I drew dupes for that.
Yes, then enough economy if you drew something like Balon here to play him.
Just, yeah, I drew 2 Ushers. 2 Ushers and 1 Euron.
Yeah, but against Mad King's Command, that's not bad. You can save all these cards because they're put into play.
I thought he has more value than Nelt and Eric, so I just decided for Mad King's Command that I just get rid of the Renown and have a second character with Stealth and Pillage because there were already 15 cards in the discard pile. So the Raider gets Stealth and Eric just kneels with 1 power, so I just decided to get rid of him.
And nothing marshaled from the other side. And again, it's a tricky position, so no intrigue icons, which means there is a free Intimidate on a challenge that cannot be really opposed, and the free Maiden's Bane trigger if the opponent keeps missing Kohola, who could in theory participate to at least stop Maiden's Bane.
Don't know, maybe he didn't, because also he discarded more cards, but then Usher wouldn't stand, so I couldn't stand anybody then, so. I also thought, because it worked the first time, that because I stealthed him, he can't do his ability, but if you say he can, then that could have changed my plans a lot, because then that would be very different.
Yes, so if you participate with I'm just reading him here. If you participate with an ability like that, stealth doesn't really interact with that, so stealth only prevents a character from being declared as an attacker or as a defender specifically. And here we have Missandei pillaged, so she can also be put into play. Now Asha of course gets the first reaction. No, actually Missandei is an interrupt, so already the opponent has passed that reaction here.
I cancelled that.
Oh, you cancelled
Yeah,
her.
I cancelled that one. Yeah.
I missed that initially when I. That's why you will see me looking at Missandei a few times. I missed that from the chat log. Yeah, okay, so the Round Fanatic cancels her, which is nice. A free character on Mad King's Command with the icons that can oppose additional challenges. Very nice to stop her being put into play. And now, of course, Asha searches such a large percentage of the deck that she has to find some kind of warship.
Yeah. I think 17 cards, the top 17 cards with she searches. So there has to be something I can put in with, I don't know, like probably 15 warships in the deck. There has to be someone to stand Euron again.
And Great Kraken puts even more pressure to oppose any challenges that the opponent can. And of course, this Targaryen deck is not going to work if it cannot attack back. It's a very aggressive deck with high claim, and if it's just on the defensive like this, sooner or later it will lose the game. We have that same situation with Plaza, but now of course there are only 2 characters in play and 1 card in hand, and Plaza still has some conditions. It needs a card that is at the most 3 lower than the printed cost of the character you're trying to stand.
I think there was still a card. There was still a character in hand that could make that. Because I'm pretty sure I think Yago stands this round too. And just does Crown again.
Yeah, so we saw 2 characters return to hand with
Oh, yeah.
overwhelming numbers earlier, so those 2 are gone here. And Koto was the other card in hand. He has an ability to come into play for free, but only with summer plots, and that's not the situation here.
Also not that many summer plots in the Targaryen deck. I think you have late Summer Feast and Colors. No, Colors has not summer. Close Call. You have late Summer Feast and Close Call. That's the only 2 summer plots in the deck.
Yes, it's difficult to include them because they don't have high claim, and you can't really pressure with them. But there is some synergy with summer plots. Koto is one, and then Targaryen has some other stuff. There is another Dothraki that can stand someone if there is a summer plot card revealed. I think it's Ago.
Yeah, Argo, yeah. I just look at it up in the deck list. And you can stand a Blood Rider if there's a summer plot revealed. Oh, the first plot was late Summer Feast, okay. So
I was just checking what is left. There is Accounting Coppers and something else. Close call, right?
Close Call and Confiscation is
Confiscation.
left in the Targaryen, and I had Bran or Counting Coppers.
Yeah, so guaranteed to win initiative, basically.
Yeah. I wanted a more gold because I think I took Balon in hand with the last Usher attack. So I knew I had like Balon in hand and I had to play him. So I think the 2 gold from Counting Coppers would be not enough, so I played Bran.
Yeah, and still have Fealty, of course, which is easy to forget.
Yeah, I if I didn't forget it here, I had Nightmares was in my hand, and if I played him with Fealty, I had that 1 gold for Nightmare.
Yeah, Khal
But I
Drogo.
also was an 18. So with now 3 stealth characters and Intimidate, and now not the character that can participate in the other challenges, I got a lot of power with the warship and just kneeling all of them.
Right, and now you have 2 triggers here for the warship search. We have Bran the Builder and Asha. You just need the 1, basically. And then the other cards, you can take anything you like, basically, if the game goes another round.
I had Iron Victory in the deck, and I think I also played it just in case I didn't win now, like I knew it was possible. Because like also Balon has stealth from his warship. So just if I have to like lose military or something, I would get 2 powers if I choose Euron and Asha. And then I just get 2 extra powers on them.
Yeah, basically that just stops any potential of doing a military challenge for the opponent here.
Then of course the Dothraki have no king characters, so Balon doesn't kneel with 2 stealths. I kind of missed. I thought I would get it unopposed, but I of course can't stealth Iago because he has stealth himself. So that was an opposed. No, but he let it through. I don't know if he should defend it with Iago, that challenge. Because then it wouldn't get 2 powers and Asher wouldn't stand and Euron. Nah, Euron would stand because I put the warship in, but what did Euron stand from Maidensbane? Euron stood from Maidensbane. I don't know if like defending would have been maybe better than. On the other hand, he has then every character knelt, and the crown will still go through. And with Renown on Balon and unopposed crown challenges over.
Here we have the concession. There is really no way to do this. So if he opposed everything, then he is knelt, and you still get close to 15, and you have your dominance and some renown. And if he lets it through, everything gets intimidated, and no way to do challenges back. So yeah, that was a very nice win. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So this was our second win in this matchup, and there are a few more games to go, and hopefully you can join us for those as well. So thank you, Peter, for joining me on commentary. Hopefully you can join us a few more times over the course of this tournament.
I hope so. Thank you for taking me.
Alright, so we'll see you in the other games. Bye bye.